Everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Susan. For today's class, we're going to be doing stretches on the floor. So we'll mostly just be on the floor the entire time. So go ahead and come down to the floor however you wish, coming into a seated position. Whatever is a comfortable seated position for you. You could have your legs out in front of you, or you could have your legs crossed. Or maybe you want to sit on a blanket or a pillow, feel free. We're going to start by closing our eyes, if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes. And we're going to take a few breaths here. We're going to take a nice long breath in through our nose and a nice long breath out through our nose. Let's do this a couple times at your own speed. A nice easy breath, but long. And then notice maybe if you're feeling any tightness anywhere, try to breathe into whatever spot might feel tight. So say you feel some tightness in your hips, maybe try to focus your breath in your hip area. And when you exhale, maybe you could try to release that tightness a little bit. Again, maybe you're feeling tightness in your shoulders. Let's take a breath in, a breath out, maybe feeling your shoulders release. All right, let's open our eyes if you had them closed. We're going to bring our arms up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Let's do this a couple times, breathing in, breathing out. Maybe looking up when you breathe in and bring your arms up and breathing out. All right, let's interlace our fingers together. We're going to turn our hands inside out and bring our arms up above our head for a nice big stretch. If you can't keep your fingers together, that's fine. You can have your arms apart. But if they are together, see if you can have your palms turned inside out. We're going to reach up and kind of but go over to the side here for a side stretch, back to the middle, and then over to the other side, and back to the middle. Let's bring our arms down, opening our hands so our thumbs point backwards and reaching back a little bit. All right, very good. Let's bring our arms up again, this time turning to the side, lowering our hands down. So one hand crosses over to the opposite knee. Even if you have your legs straight here, you would be doing the same thing, crossing your hand to the opposite knee. And we'll bring our arms back up and we'll twist the other way, twisting to the side here. And taking a few breaths. Let's go back to the middle. We'll go each way, turning to the side, lowering our arms. And if you want, you can see if you could turn your head a little bit towards the back. You don't have to, but if you want, you can. Coming back to the middle and going the other direction. And again, if you want, looking behind you. Coming back to the center, we'll lower our arms down. This time we're going to rotate our shoulders. Bringing our shoulders up and back and down and around. Let's rotate our shoulders a couple times and then the other direction with our shoulders. Let's just turn our head now, turning our head to the side, looking to the side. Back to the middle, turning our head the other way and back to the middle. Let's tip our head to one side, and if you want, you can have your hand lightly on your head, and this other hand can walk out a little bit, getting a stretch on your neck. We'll come back to the center, going the other way, tipping your head. Your hand is lightly on your head, and maybe walking your hand out a little bit, a little stretch on your neck here. All right, let's come back to the middle. We're going to have both hands on one side, making a great big rainbow over, and a great big rainbow going back the other way. And again, it's fine if your legs are straight, doesn't matter. And again, coming up and over, maybe looking up when your hands are up and coming back the other way. Maybe adding on your breathing, breathing in as you come up and out as you go down. And one more time like that with your arms, rainbow arms. All right, very good. Let's bring our arms back up again. This time we're going to make what I like to call cactus arms, feeling your shoulders kind of go together. And again, reaching up, coming back to our cactus. And one more time, reaching up and cactus. All right, very good. We're going to move on now, coming into our tabletop position. So tabletop, we have our hands under our shoulders, knees are under our hips. We're going to do the cat-cow stretch. So we're going to round our back for the cat and lower down, coming through our shoulders for the cow. Let's do that again, rounding up for the cat, lowering down through our shoulders for the cow. Maybe doing it with your breathing, breathing out for the cat, breathing in for the cow. We'll do it once more. We'll make our cat and we'll make our cow. All right, very good. Now we're going to lift one arm up. We're doing both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you do first. And we're going to thread the needle by bringing this hand under our shoulder, palm is facing up. And then maybe see if you can get the side of your head down to your mat. So this is a nice shoulder stretch here. We'll hold this for a little bit. You can lengthen this arm out, the other arm you can lengthen out if you want. Or you can keep it just in front of your face. Let's bring that arm back up to the sky, coming back to our tabletop. We'll do the other side now. Lifting this other arm up and then threading the needle, threading this arm underneath our shoulder. Maybe putting our head down on the mat if you want to do that. Maybe bringing this other arm out in front if you like to do it that way. All right, very good. Let's put this hand in front of our face again if you had it straight. And then we're going to lift our arm up and back to our tabletop. Okay, from here we're coming into child's pose. You can have your knees a little bit apart here, thinking about maybe overlapping your big toes behind you, and then bringing your seat towards your feet. Now here in child's pose, you can either have your arms alongside, or you can have your arms out in front, or you could rest your forehead on your forearms. Your choice. You could do your child's pose any of those ways. And let's hold this for a little bit, taking a few breaths in and out. Okay, so let's extend our arms if your arms are not already extended. We're going to push down into the floor with our hands. So our arms are lifted a little bit up off the mat. You can still have your forehead down for an extended child's pose. And then let's think about walking our hands. We're going to walk our hands over to the, let's say we're walking them to the right. And then you could put your left hand on top of your right, getting a nice side stretch here. And then walking back to the middle, walking over to the other side, putting our right hand on top of our left now. And then coming back through to the middle, coming back into our tabletop. And then we're just going to lengthen out along on the floor here. So now we're in what's called Sphinx pose. All right, so here in Sphinx pose, we have our toes pointed back. And we're just resting on our forearms. Somebody once said this should be called the reading a book at the beach pose, because that's what she felt like she was doing, just reading a book book at the beach. So it's a kind of a comfy pose with still getting a little bit of a back bend. From here, we're going to see if we can bend one of our knees. Let's say we're bending our right knee. We'll do both sides, so it doesn't matter. But say your right knee is bent, you're gonna see if you can reach behind and grab your ankle. We're just gonna hold on to our ankle. We're not gonna do anything else. If you'd rather be down further, you can be down on the, more on the ground here, or you can be resting still on your forearm. Your choice. We'll just hold that just a little bit more, noticing you're getting a stretch here in your quadricep muscle. Let's switch to the other side. So we're bending our left knee. We're reaching our left hand back, holding onto our left ankle. And again, if this is too much, you can come down to the ground, or you could even roll to your side. I personally don't like rolling to my side, but on this one, but you can if you like doing it that way. And then we'll do our Sphinx again. And then from here, we're coming into Cobra pose. So for Cobra, all we're going to do is move our hands back just a little bit. So our hands are underneath our shoulders and our elbows are pointed back. Our elbows are bent and our feet, toes are pointed back. We're going to curl up into Cobra pose and then come back in. Let's do that a couple times along with our breath. Inhaling, rising into Cobra, exhaling back down. One more time. Let's come into our Cobra and now back down, and then we'll come into our tabletop again. All right, and now this time from tabletop, what we're going to do is bring one foot between our hands, and then we're going to rise into a low lunge, bringing our arms up on the inhale and back down on the exhale. And again, inhaling up, maybe looking up, exhaling down. One more time, bringing our arms up, back down, framing our foot, coming back into the tabletop, and then the other side, just putting our other foot between our hands, coming up again, bringing our arms up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Again, inhaling up, exhaling down. One more time, bringing your arms up and back down. Coming back, and then just having a seat. So now we're sitting down with our legs out in front of us. This one is called staff pose. We can have our hands on either side, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to bring our feet in and out a few times. So flexing and pointing our feet, bringing our toes in and then out. And again, toes come in, toes come out. Let's do that again. And then we'll bring our ankles in a circle. So we're rotating our feet here, making some circles. And then the other way around with our feet. All right, very good. Let's sit up nice and tall again. We're going to do our butterfly. So we'll have the soles of our feet together here, sitting up tall again. And if it's possible, your knees could go all the way to the floor. For me, that is not possible. But if yours go all the way to the floor, that's great. And we're going to sit up nice and tall and then come forward, hinging forward at our waist, maybe holding on to our feet here, if that works for you. And we'll take a couple breaths here in our butterfly pose. Maybe noticing on the exhale, you can come a little bit further. And then we'll sit back up. We're going to straighten one leg, keeping the other one bent. Let's see if we can get the sole of this foot into the thigh of our straight leg. And if you can't, it's fine if you have it lower, but just don't have pressure on your knee. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. And we're going to come forward, again, hinging forward, walking your hands out to however far they go. Maybe your hands are around your thigh, or maybe they're around your shin, or maybe you can come to your foot. So we're just gonna hold this for a little bit here in this stretch. Taking a few breaths. And then we're gonna sit back up and we'll do the other side. So now this other leg is long and this leg is bent, putting the sole of our foot into the thigh of the straight leg, sitting up nice and tall. And again, coming forward, however far forward works for you. It's fine if it's just a little bit forward, or maybe you can come further forward. And we'll hold this for a little bit. And then we'll sit back up. All right, we're gonna do one more stretch here. This one is on our back and it's called the figure four. All right, and that's my floor that makes that creaking noise. I always like to point that out so people don't think it's me. All right, we're going to cross our left ankle to our right knee here in the figure four stretch. And if this feels like enough stretch for you, you can just stay like this. And thinking about if your left if your left ankle is on your right knee, then your left knee should be out to the side. But if you want more of a stretch here, you could reach behind and hold the back of your right thigh here, or maybe even straighten your right leg. So this is making the figure four shape. It's like an upside down figure four. We're going to hold this just for a little bit, taking a few breaths here. And then we'll switch to the other side. So now our right ankle is on our left knee. Our right knee is out to the side. And again, maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you just want to kind of push lightly on your right knee here. See if you can get it a little more open. Or maybe you want to add on by holding behind your left thigh this time. And maybe straightening your left leg if that works for you. Feeling a nice stretch here. This one is supposed to be a good stretch if you have sciatica. So if you have sciatica, maybe you want to hold this a little bit longer. We'll just take a couple more breaths. And then we'll come into a ball, holding on to our knees, maybe coming into a tight ball, taking a breath in, and then taking a breath out, getting nice and long on our mat. Oh, and we'll take a breath in through our nose and sigh out, melting down into the ground. All right, you can stay here in Savasana as long as you wish. I'm going to end the video here, so up to you if you want to keep resting in Savasana or if you want to not, it's fine. But if you would also like, you could click on the like button or maybe even click on the subscribe button. Hope to see you again next time. Bye now. Thank you.